This is Canada Reads American Style, featuring two friends who love Canada Reads and Canadian literature. Welcome our host Rebecca from Michigan and Tara from Ontario.
Hello and welcome to Canada Reads American Style, our special edition Canada Reads 2026, Day 3. Before we get into today's vote, what book got eliminated, and then really dig deep into everything that happened today, we're going to start with the pre-show when Ali gave Elle-Máijá the floor to kind of address a minor chorus being voted or eliminated yesterday. And Elle-Máijá, she really deserved the spot. She took that spotlight. I loved this moment. She embraced the moment and she read a poem by Billy-Ray Belcourt himself, which was obviously very special, a very emotional moment for her. And she, following the poem, addressed some controversy that may have happened at the end, a little tension that happened in the end of yesterday's episode. I liked how she did it because she wasn't apologetic and she just, basically said sitting in discomfort is not comfortable, obviously, by definition.
Right.
At some point, it happens to all of us. But she said, there was no personal criticisms. It was all about the books, about the show, and she is who she is. She can't take her identity away from the show.
Yeah. And I just want to say that there are moments I've only been watching Canada Reads for, I think it's 9 years or could be 10 at this point. I can't remember. And there are defining moments that you just won't ever forget. Right. And I think this is always going to be my top one. Yeah. She took the opportunity to showcase Billy-Ray Belcourt in a way that was just so beautiful, respectful, promoted him in a way that made me, I listened to that poem and I was there with her. I had tears in my eyes and I'm thinking, again, I have to read this author. She really made a case for him in a way that I knew of him because you've read him, you've really have enjoyed his work, but I hadn't, done it yet, hadn't picked up any of his books. And I just think for somebody who championed his book, she champions him as well. And I believe he is an author all of Canada should read, just based on everything that she's done so far in this competition. My gosh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was.
And I agree with you. I think the way she spoke about kind of the little controversy that happened yesterday, I thought in every way I feel like she got everything out that she needed to say. She said it in a way that was respectful to the show, to the individuals there, to the community, everybody. I didn't know her from before, so I don't know what she's been acting in or movies that she's made, but I kind of want to look into her because I'm just gobsmacked. And I'd like to just say that I kind of thought she would be bringing the heat when she, at the very beginning back in January when we talked about it. And then at the beginning, she seemed a little tentative. And I feel like, damn, she nailed it for me. She brought everything I wanted her to bring and way more because I didn't expect how eloquent and incredible and fierce and powerful she was in her words.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love her. I just have to say, I just love her.
I did too. Okay. And now we move into today's debates. We're going to start off with spoilers. So if you have not yet watched the competition and you don't want to know which book was eliminated today, now is the time to turn off and return to us afterwards. But at the end of the day, the book that was eliminated was It's Different This Time by Joss Richards. Richard, I think, no S, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, historic moment in that the romance made it to day 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what her goal was
yeah.
to get it as far into the competition as she could, and she did do that.
Yep. And the previous times that a romance, I feel like this is the third romance, right? The third
Yeah, I
time
think
a
so.
romance has been here. And I have always wanted the romance the previous years has always gone on day one. And I have always said that I just want someone to, and I have no stake in the romance going further or anything, but I just wanted to see someone defend a romance beyond the it makes you feel good, it's escape argument.
Hmm.
And so kudos. My God, I think I drank too much coffee today. Kudos to Morgan Book for doing that. She defended that book fiercely and she got it to day 3.
I guess yes. I
Yeah.
guess for me, the it really resonated with her because she's a 20 something going through a certain time period in her life. And
Mhm.
so it really resonated with her.
Yeah.
I still feel like there might be other romances out there that could go the distance. I do feel like they really could go the distance,
Yeah.
but
Me too.
I don't, but then again, maybe not, because it is, romances are formulaic, and maybe at the end of the day there are so many books I've read where the romance isn't the central part of the story, but I absolutely love the book. I love the romance in it. But maybe because the genre romance is formulaic, maybe that's the thing that won't ever get it to the end of the competition and to win. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, as a reader, if I know how it's going to end before I start the book, the path along the way might be really nice, but I don't think that it's going to be something that I would want to see standing at the end of 4 days of competition.
Yeah.
So,
That's probably one of my big grievances with romances is that I don't want to know that there's always a happy ending. But some
mhm,
people do. Some people do want to know
absolutely.
that there is that happy ending. So, yeah, am I disappointed that the book is gone on day 3? No. I'll put it out there. I'm not disappointed that the book is gone, but as a genre reader, I'm happy to see a genre book make it
Mhm.
past day 1. I would have liked for that genre book to have been faux, but
Yeah.
that's why we do the competition. If we knew what was going to happen, why watch it? Why have it?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay, so round 1 was what does your book have that the other 2 books don't? I liked this first round actually because it was just the 3 defenders that are left, no one else commenting on it. They were just given like a moment to shine a spotlight on their book. So I really like this beginning round.
Mhm, mhm.
We started with Tegan. What do you think? What did you think of Tegan today?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very clear that her book has something that the others don't, because there is representation that obviously isn't in either of the other 2 books. So I felt her answer was pretty solid. I mean, and I do think she did step up her game today. Like, I was really happy to see her start to really dive into it a little deeper. And so I did think she did a good job in that way.
Yeah, I fully agree. I thought she was like, she came in, they must have given them this question beforehand to be prepared because they were all well
Yeah.
prepared for this, right? Um, so she knew exactly what she wanted to hit. She got all of her points out. She even addressed like a couple of criticisms that the book had received about needing a little bit more magic and about all the characters, like that there were too many characters.
Mhm.
So she even addressed that right from the beginning. And she was funny. Like I can't help it. I love humor. And I thought she just
Yeah,
nailed it. I thought she really did well in this one. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Then we moved into Morgan. And what did you think of Morgan's defense?
Well, I actually thought it was pretty good because she kind of went into a little more detail about what the book was about, because I didn't know. And so the comments that have been made by Morgan and the others really were kind of the similar all they were sort of saying the same thing about the story, and she threw in some other pieces of that, like a death of a parent, or the career development kind of thing, the way she talked about it. So I thought, well, she made some good points there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I liked how she also, her main argument for this point, she took the other 2 books first and said, I think for A Cure for Drowning, she said, that book exists at a distance. Terry Punchout is fun, but it's someone else's world. Where she said her book, has a sense of immediacy and like reality of right now. So I like that. However, I did have a little issue in that when she said for Terry Punchout, and she has said this before, that she felt like she was looking at someone else's world. I Can she not see beyond her? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's this barrier she holds up that she only wants to see a certain world.
Well, I agree. And I think when she makes that argument, so I'm a senior 67-year-old woman who read Terry Punchout and absolutely loved it because it spoke to my heart in such a deep way. And I love Tegan talked about, and I don't remember which book, you probably have the notes about it, where she was talking about, I don't know if it was more than one book that really spoke to her. I think she said that today. And I thought, exactly, it doesn't have to, I don't think we have to match the characters in a story in order for us to for it to resonate with us. And so yeah, every time she says that, I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what that means. Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't like be uh, putting something on her, because she made this. She did say at the end, right, that she studied political science, was
Hmm.
considering going into law, because she is very well prepped in public speaking and
Oh my
debate, like,
gosh. Yeah.
having her
Hmm.
points ready. So this actually may have just been like, this is a speaking point for me and I'm going to hit it hard,
Yeah.
and maybe doesn't speak to the rest of her reading life as a whole. And I'm just making a generalized statement. But it just is something that stuck out to me that she had mentioned a couple of times, of not being able to really be in a story because she didn't see herself in the story.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a youth thing too, right? Age.
Yeah. But I mean, my gosh, I mean, a lot of stuff I read, I don't see myself in,
Hmm.
obviously. So I don't know. I like to see myself. That's nice.
Yep.
Representation is good,
Yep.
but it's not always there.
No, I like to read other people's stories. That's mostly what I like to do.
Absolutely.
So, yep.
That I agree.
And then left with Steve. Go.
Okay. I gotta say, way to go, Steve Dangle Glynn. You freaking nailed it. I wrote it down, I highlighted it. The fact that you went on about publishing in Canada and how important it is and how and he's had experience in both. I thought, what a freaking love letter to Canadian independent publishing and everything. It's like, way to go, Steve. I love that man.
Me too,
Hmm.
because it was unexpected too, because he started
Yeah.
it off with the quote, like, "Books are cultural artifacts," and I was like, "Nice, I like that." And then he just went into, like, certified Canadian publishers, independent. I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, I see what you're doing." I'm like, "I like it, I like
Exactly. I loved it.
it." I fell for it. Uh,
Oh, I 100% fell for it. I
yeah,
loved it. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Yep.
yeah, me too. It was different, right? It was different than the other ones.
Mhm.
Okay, round 2. Now this is where people get to answer questions and then the other 3 get to respond. So I also now we're
Mm.
getting deep into the debates. Round 2 was all about character. And which character from any of the 3 books stayed with you the most and why? Elle-Máijá, I don't think her response was not a surprise to me because she went with Kit,
Mhm.
but that she appreciated all the characters. It was a love fest for her for The Cure for Drowning at this moment, her answer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I and it's interesting too because again, I didn't read the romance and I couldn't get a copy of A Minor Chorus. I read the other 3. And to me, and even though I wasn't a big fan of Cure for Drowning, The Cure for Drowning, it just didn't, it just didn't resonate with me as much.
Mhm.
But to me, if I had to pick a character, I would absolutely say Kit. I mean,
Yeah.
that character resonated with me so much. I really like that character, so I wasn't surprised that Elle-Máijá said it, and also even Morgan kind of at first said Kit, and then
Yep.
jumped right over to, and of course she was
That's
smart.
smart.
That
Yep.
was the, and then yeah, she absolutely knew. Just keep talking about my book. Keep talking about my book.
Yeah. It was smart. I think Elle-Máijá first, if I'm remembering correctly, but I didn't write it in my notes. This is where she said, I want to talk about my book, but I can't.
Oh yeah.
And then very at the end mentioned Jack, one of the characters, two characters, and I can't remember the names, Mary and
Yeah.
Jack, I think. And I was going to say, if I had to choose, I would have probably gone with characters from Minor Chorus. I'll be honest. If I was asked the
Okay.
same
Yeah.
question. Yeah. But
Yeah.
of course, a minor chorus is not included in this. That's right. I can't answer that. So I take that back. It is of the three. But
Yeah. So which stood out for you then? I'm just curious.
would be Kit or maybe Rebecca. I really liked Rebecca as well from A Cure for Drowning. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. That's tough. I think of, okay, not including the romance because I can't remember it. So I can't choose one from there. Or I can't remember it. I didn't read it. So I
Yeah.
can't choose one of that. But I'm like, oh, Adam and Terry really like Terry's grittiness and how like low he was, how he went from being like an NHL player to living in a hockey rink. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
This is why I
Yeah.
can't do these shows. I'm not good at giving like a definite answer. But I did like this is when we got Josh, who said brought in his representation that he was seeing
Mm-hmm.
in both it's a different no, it's different this time and in A Cure for Drowning. So I really liked how we brought in a conversation of representation
Mm-hmm.
in the books. Oh yes, and this in response to that, I liked Tegan's reply that queer people are often tasked with representing everyone
Mm-hmm.
as like a general blanket. So that it makes it difficult for queer writers to feel like they can represent everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so I liked her response there. And then that she wanted the story to move from being just not just, sorry, in quotation marks, a queer story to like a bigger space. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good argument for her book.
Yeah, because I was thinking she didn't say it, but when she said it, I was thinking, does she mean sort of like within the canon of like historical fiction, that type of
Mhm.
thing? Because magic realism, there's not enough there to be in that space. But I thought, yeah, I really could see that because I feel like that is what the story was, is that it was just a story told that was just, you know, I don't even know how to say it. It was just these characters, they were who they were, and it was just a normal, this was their lives. And yeah, anyway, do you know what I'm trying to say? In
Yeah,
other words, it's like it didn't stand out. It wasn't performative, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it
no,
wasn't performative who these characters were. They were just living their lives, and this was their experience, and we were along for the ride in that
yeah,
story. Yeah,
yeah. Like it's not a queer story and that only queer people are going to want to read this book.
exactly. Yeah.
Everyone's going to want to read the book, and it happens to be a queer story. Yeah. This whole question was really Tegan's to own about mostly in that most people chose Kit, but also in
Yeah.
that she was able to address the fact that there were so many characters in this book, right? That
Hmm.
people had
Yeah.
problems. So she was able to address that, and I thought she did a great job.
I didn't have an issue with all the characters, but yeah.
No, me either. Me either.
Yeah.
Okay, round three. Which portrayal of complicated relationship was most intriguing and why? I'm sorry if my grammar sounds a little weird because I'm reading off exactly what I wrote down and I was doing it short note to get it down fast. So, complicated relationship. Which one was most intriguing? Which book showed a most intriguing complicated relationship and why? You want to start?
No, because the only thing I really want to say about this, honestly, is Steve's comment at the very end, which was he said, "Welcome to the constipation of father and son relationships." And I thought, dude, you nailed it. Like you
Yeah.
have the ability to do a one-liner that absolutely nails it, and everybody gets it. You totally understand what he's trying to say, and that's why, for me, the issue of Terry Punchout not being long enough or in depth enough, to me, that was one of the things I felt it needed to be. Was you're talking about two men ultimately that were trying to go somewhere in their lives, and they were two men who never didn't speak to each other for decades or whatever, so, or
Yeah.
years or whatever. So my thing is, I thought the book was exactly what it should have been. And so that argument, I think he nailed it by saying that it's like there wasn't more to tell, that what it is
Yeah.
in their relationship. So I just love that part of it. So
I liked it that originally when he started answering, because Steve was the first one to answer, he
yeah.
said Adam and June. And I'm
Yeah.
from It's Different This Time. And I'm like, oh, interesting. He didn't choose his own book. But
Yeah.
then he flipped it and said, "It's a charming book, but the reason it stuck with me is because it was such a frustrating relationship." Mostly, and it sounds like there was a lot of miscommunication in the book and stuff like this between the characters. I don't know. But anyways, I thought that was a really smart point of his too, to turn his
Yeah.
answer into like a little criticism of the other
Yeah.
book. Like, I remember this relationship, but not for a good reason.
And I love it because he used the term unforced errors, and that just made me laugh when he said that about, I guess, June and her inability to just like communicate and stop being so frustrating as a character. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah. The other highlight here for me was Elle-Máijá, because she chose the relationship, the love triangle in The Cure for Drowning.
Oh yeah.
And what I liked is that she took a historical fiction and she said that it ends up being a modern look at a modern family
Hmm.
between Rebecca and Kit and a baby. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I felt
Yeah.
like at this point, Elle-Máijá has chosen where she's going to stand in this round, and it's behind The Cure for Drowning.
Yeah.
So she didn't want the fact that it's set in 1940s to be, or early 1900s, to be used against the book. She's like,
Hmm.
it's a historical fiction, but the story it's telling with a non-binary character is a modern story. I like that.
Right.
Okay, round 4. Oh, this is the question about reckoning with the past in order to move forward, and which book best accomplishes it.
And my notes are really wonky on this one because I felt like it seemed kind of obvious to me. I could be wrong, but it seemed obvious that this was the Terry Punchout question because I feel like you're reckoning with the past, and that was the whole point of Terry Punchout. But I feel like the answers are sort of like oddly all over the place, and I didn't quite. I just it
Yeah.
surprised me that it didn't go in the direction I thought it was going to
Yeah.
go.
Well, because no one chose Terry Punchout.
I know that's what I mean.
And Josh answered first. And I honestly, I did not understand his reasoning behind it as well. He chose it's different this time and Cure for Drowning, but I didn't understand why. I
No,
don't
I
think
didn't either.
I think he was stuck. I think he started off by readdressing something from an earlier question
Hmm.
about the representation in the Cure for Drowning, and then moved into answering this question, and it got all, I didn't know what
Yeah,
was going on there. Yeah, it was all just basically Cure for Drowning. Except then Morgan, of course, said A Cure for Drowning, and then but said, "I have to say my own book too." Which,
exactly.
which she does. That's what she's supposed to do. You can't let a whole round go by without your book being really mentioned. So, she kind
Yeah.
of did that. Yeah.
I just wish there had been better. I just still feel like Terry. Why wouldn't you talk about Terry Punchout? And there was an opportunity for Steve to talk about his book, and he didn't. I don't. Did he
No.
even answer that question? I
Yeah.
don't
The
feel
Cure
like.
for Drowning. He just said The Cure for Drowning. That's
Oh,
all I
he
have
said it
written
as
down.
well. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Was this at the point where he was still like, "Can I talk about my own book? I don't feel like I can answer my own book," or something like this? And Ali was like, "Yeah, you can." I think that came later on or something.
Yeah, it
When
was
was that?
question 5 because
Okay.
because he finally then chose his one of his characters. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, question 5. Which book brought a fresh perspective to happiness in all its forms? Elle-Máijá went with, oh, Terry Punchout, actually. She
Hmm.
did mention
Hmm.
The Cure for Drowning, but she was really behind Terry Punchout for this question. Steve, that's when he finally was like, Ali was like, yes, you can answer your own book. Please do. Oh, and
That was funny.
I think they, like, Steve and Morgan had that little back and forth about how their books are similar, like how Adam and June, no, not Adam. Yeah, Adam and June are similar, right? So,
But again, the answers here really surprised me, and again, it could just be strategy. But I guess if they really had asked me the question, especially if I was a free agent, the way I would have answered it is honestly, okay, which book, fresh perspective, happiness, blah blah blah. To me, it's clearly The Cure for Drowning because it is a story. Like we said, we haven't had stories about
yeah.
historical fiction about non-binary characters from that time period, the war, the whole thing. To me, it's like it did give a completely fresh perspective because of the way the happiness had to be really just, they had to dig it out to get there. Do you know what I mean? So to me, that seemed like the obvious answer, but I did anybody, oh, Tegan, no, Tegan mentioned it at the end, but I don't think anybody used that one, right?
No, they all kind of, it was a lot of Terry Punchout, which
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that book, but I don't think of happiness when I think of that book.
No,
I really
I wouldn't
don't.
either.
No.
No.
And Tegan just went with all 3 books. She just
Yeah.
listed all 3 books why they were. I
Yeah.
get that too. I would probably do the same thing.
So I was just surprised that, yeah, it just seemed like an obvious. It's weird because I feel like the last question number 4 was kind of a Terry Punch-Out answer. This one was sort of like Cure for Drowning question, answer, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they're not going where I thought they would go.
Yeah. And then we finished that round. I think Ali gave Morgan a couple extra seconds to talk about. I thought that was weird. I think it was only because maybe there was filler time left in the round. I don't really know what happened
Yeah,
because it was kind of like she wasn't expecting it.
yeah,
And it was like he said, your final words, which I think then Morgan thought it was like her final argument
yeah,
for the day.
yeah. Because I even wrote in my notes. I wrote, oh, final, like final words. I put
Yeah.
that on my notes, and then I went, oh, wait a minute, that was, I guess, supposed to be for the question 5, and so yeah,
Yeah. So I think she was confused there, and which actually answers something that I had about her actual final words, which we'll get to in a minute. But then it ended up really being Tegan who finished this round off by saying romance is not a dirty word. So,
hmm,
and
yeah.
I thought that put like a nice little exclamation point on the day right there.
Yeah. And I also appreciate that because I think that both Steve and Josh said they had never read a romance
Mhm.
before, and they seemed to really obviously enjoy it because Josh kept voting
Yep.
to keep the romance in, and Steve, you know, said it really opened his eyes and everything. So yeah, I think that's a really powerful, good thing. I think if because I'm not a like I said, I'm not a big fan of the romance genre, but you know what? If you have 2 men on the panel and then they go, "Hey, it's kind of changed my perspective," that's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
Okay, now we get to the true final words in which they were each given 30 seconds. Tegan started us off with Canadians should and will love to read. I actually really thought this was a great argument just to close it all up
I agree with you. Yes.
because she'd already gone, like the book had gotten lots of airtime today, and she'd already given her point, bam, 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 right at the
Hmm.
beginning. So I thought this was like a really nice way just to tie it, put a bow on it at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was Morgan's turn.
And for me, I thought this was the weakest argument she made in 3 days because she said about she said something about, the complaints might be that it's too convenient or it's too unrealistic or something. And then she said, she kind of ended it with, it's a feel good genre. And I was like, girl, you never said that the whole day, the whole time. So again, I don't know if that question at the end of 5 threw her off a little bit. And then she just sort of went like, oh God, what do I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the weakest argument she made the whole 3 days.
Me too. I have exactly the same thing written down, perhaps her weakest argument, because that is the argument that the other 2 romances previous years have started with generally, basically,
Hmm.
and gotten them voted off the first day. And so I
Yeah.
was really surprised. I'm like, that's what she's bringing to like day 3 as a final argument. But
Yeah.
now that we have gone through this, I think she got thrown off by having that last 30 seconds in round 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
So I think what was supposed to be her final arguments, she ended up giving early and then was just kind of like a deer in headlights. So that's
Hmm.
unfortunate for her that she
Yeah.
ended up ending that way. So, and then Steve, not a bad. It was a charming ending. Lovely, fun read, not typical hockey book. I have here that he did. He ended it with a dig at it's different this time. When he said that Adam wasn't given $3 million by
Oh, that's
an
right. Yeah.
ex partner or something like that. So,
I forgot about that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that was just a little dig. So that, again, that's not a bad idea either. Just like hey, maybe my story's more realistic because he wasn't given $3 million, but he drinks a lot of rum and Coke. I don't know.
Exactly. I love that line when he said the math wasn't mathing because he said, I thought I knew how much money he came with, but then I was drinking a lot of rum and cokes. I just thought that was so funny
Yeah.
that he actually that he thought that at some point in as he was reading the story. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Okay, then we move into our vote. Do you want to go through the vote?
No, I'll let you go ahead and start.
Okay. I just have them written down, not as he called on them, but as they're at the table. So Tegan voted against It's Different This Time, which I think we both expected. Josh, Searching for Terry Punchout. And go. Do you want to say something?
No, I
No.
was just going to say it's so funny because I was telling you earlier I had written down how I thought the vote was going to go before, like at a certain point in the show I kind of did it really quickly, and it's funny because that is I said Josh would vote off Terry Punchout, so I got everything else wrong this season, so I got one thing
You
right,
got this.
but I thought Josh would vote against Terry Punchout. Yeah,
I love that whenever he does vote against Terry Punchout, though, he feels so bad for voting against Steve. You can see,
yeah, yeah,
well, it was a real love fest, as Ali said, going around this
yeah,
table anyways during this vote.
yeah.
Okay. Morgan, Searching for Terry Punchout. Was that what you were expecting?
No, that's actually the one that I got wrong, and I thought she would vote off The Cure for Drowning because I thought at the end I thought she'd rather be standing with Terry Punchout because she could make a better argument there. So I was really surprised that she voted for Terry Punchout.
Yeah,
Actually,
but me too. Oh, yeah, me too. But maybe she liked the idea of potentially having two romances standing
oh,
at the end as well.
didn't think of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
because that would look, I do like the symmetry of that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, a real statement there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Elle-Máijá against It's Different This Time. No surprise. And then Steve against It's Different This Time also. So leaving the vote being 3 against It's Different This Time and 2 Searching for Terry Punchout. So we said goodbye to It's Different This Time.
Okay, so tomorrow, my goodness. Okay, so I just want to throw this out there. So when I was interviewing Tyler Hellard about Searching for Terry Punchout, I made a comment to him. I don't know if I said it in the interview, if I said it afterwards to him, but I said something like, I think you might have a good shot of, ending up in the final two. And his book was the only one I had read, but I really, really enjoyed it. And he goes, you haven't read the other ones yet. So he said, basically, don't get too excited. You haven't read the others left. And so I just want to say to Tyler Hellard, ha.
Yeah.
I was right. You are still standing. And what an amazing thing. And I don't know I don't even know how it's going to go tomorrow.
No,
I don't
no,
know.
it's super exciting. If we can look at it, we got one book from the East Coast and one book from the West Coast. So I love that. I really love that. Yeah. That's makes my little symmetry happy brain very happy, actually, thinking of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to at least try to make a prediction?
I will. And I don't usually make predictions. I don't usually like making them, but I think it's going to be The Cure for Drowning. I'll be honest.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a part of me, mostly that CBC poll where they asked us to pick a book, and then they said in case there was a draw or like a
tie.
Thank you. Damn. Okay. Anyway, a tie. What book would you vote for? And I was surprised because I think was Cure for Drowning, was it up there? I thought that was one that was.
It was at the top.
It was the one that surprised me was a minor chorus was low. That's the one that surprised me, that one was low. Okay, you're right. So yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be, but The Cure for Drowning.
In that poll, so what we were talking about, in case you don't know what we're talking about, I noticed that over the weekend on CBC Books website, they had a poll so that in the case, so this is something new, I don't think they've done this before, right? In the case that on day one, there was a five-way tie, they used this poll so that readers could vote for their favorite book, and this poll would be used. The book that got the most votes would then be saved from elimination. And I love this. I voted many, many times. I voted on this, such that I think they like blocked me out eventually. Like I had to get my son to go vote because it just stopped like submitting. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I see that, CBC. The last time I looked at it on Sunday night, The Cure for Drowning had 44.7% of the votes.
Okay.
Terry Punchout, 26.2.
Okay.
Then it was Foe at 13%, A Minor Chorus at 9.8, and It's Different This Time at 6.2.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, interesting, but not the way that they went out, really, except for, well, very cool. I have one thing that before we say goodbye that I'm missing from this season, because it is the 25th anniversary of Canada Reads.
Yeah.
And there has not been any kind of like special little, like there's a montage at the beginning. If you watch on YouTube, I don't know if it's on CBC Gem, but it's the same montage each day. And it's only from the past 3 or 4 years. There's nothing that's been really like celebrating the 25 years. And I'm kind of surprised and a little disappointed.
Yeah. So is that something? Okay. So in American culture, we celebrate every freaking opportunity we have for everything. 5 years, 10 years, 50. It doesn't matter. We celebrate everything. So is it normally that you would do that in Canada, and it's somehow they just like completely dropped the ball on it or something?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I honestly don't know. I mean, I was expecting something. I thought it was like a kind of a prime moment to showcase the history. Maybe because sometimes the history has been a little like fraught at the beginning with the host.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they don't want to, but you can do that without pinpointing the original host. So, highlighting him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they're going to surprise me tomorrow. I'm going to be a little bummed if there's not something.
I forgot about. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because I had forgotten about it. And when I created our little graphic for it to advertise our podcast, I did put the 25th anniversary thing there on there, and I made it's very centered and prominent because to me, my gosh, 25 years of this amazing, book debate. It's why I'm here. I love this thing, and yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because it's been really like it's gone through a lot of changes and it's evolved and it's I don't know. I was expecting something. We can ask Ali on Friday if I don't
we
get
will
my
ask
little
him.
tribute.
That's right.
Okay, and now for day 4 is tomorrow, and that's when we will find out which book will be the final book standing that all of Canada should read and probably has read. Let's be honest, most of us read most of the books beforehand. Anyway, so tomorrow, day 4, very exciting. We're doing it a little different. So we're going to switch from audio podcast. We're going to do a live on YouTube with a special guest, Jolene, Bookworm Adventure Girl. We have not confirmed the time. So we are not sure when we're going to be going live, but we will put something on our socials when that's going to happen. And then on day 5, well, I'm calling it day 5. I guess really it's the day after. But we love to celebrate day 5 of Canada Reads by talking to the host, Ali Hassan. And Ali Hassan is going to be joining us also live on YouTube at, I believe, around 9:45 Eastern.
Correct.
Right. So
yes.
There we go. We're going to, it's been a week. I am loving it. I love the drama. I love all of it. I am here for it because what better way to spend our time than talking about books, even when it pisses us off. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I agree.
Okay. Happy reading, everyone. Happy Canada Reads, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us on our bookish journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing Canada Reads American Style wherever you listen. You can connect with the podcast and Rebecca on Instagram at Canada Reads American Style and with Tara at On a Branch Reads. Until next time, keep reading.